This is Government House News You Can Use, a weekly report on what the government of the Virgin Islands is doing on behalf of the territory and all the residents of our community. On Thursday, Governor Bryant sent down his proposed legislation for the land swap with the National Park Service that will allow the construction of a K-12 school on St. John. The governor's proposed legislation calls for the exchange of Whistling Key St. John from the GVI to the U.S. Department of Interior in exchange for NPS land in Catherinesburg, St. John, in order to construct a public school. Governor Bryant said the territory has been trying to find land for a school on St. John for 50 years, and the agreement with the NPS will be ready to move forward by July 1st if the 35th legislature acts expeditiously to approve his proposal. Under the governor's proposed legislation, the National Park Service will make payment of $210,000 that will be appropriated to the St. John Capital Improvements Fund. As part of the territory's recovery from Hurricanes Irma and Maria, the Federal Emergency Management Agency will be funding the construction of a modern K-12 school facility with all the associated amenities. This facility will serve the community of St. John, not just as a school, but it will also provide a hardened hurricane shelter, a meeting space for public assemblies, and athletic facilities for the people of St. John. Governor Bryant wrote in his transmittal letter to Senate President Novell Francis Jr. The acquisition of this property will allow us to position the school in a convenient location for students and finally enable St. Johnians to graduate from high school on their home island of St. John, the governor wrote. This week, Governor Bryant attended the swearing-in ceremony at Government House on St. Thomas for Ray Rouse as the new Virgin Islands Director of the Selective Service System. Prior to the ceremony, Governor Bryant met with Acting National Director of the Selective Service System, Joel C. Spangenberg, who flew in from Washington, D.C. to appoint Director Rouse. During his remarks, Acting Director Spangenberg applauded Governor Bryant and the U.S. Virgin Islands for having a 98% registration rate for men and women entering the military, which outperforms the national average of 84%. During Monday's Government House weekly briefing, FITEMA Director Darryl Joshin updated residents on the status of the territory's hurricane shelters and said that under Governor Bryant's direction, shelters for the general public as well as medical special needs evacuation centers are ready on St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John. On St. Thomas, shelters are located at the Lockhart School, the Eudora Keene High School Gymnasium, and Eudora Keene High School Cafeteria. On St. Croix, shelters have been readied at the Educational Complex and the D.C. Cannegator Ballpark. And on St. John, a shelter is located at the Adrian Senior Center. Water Island residents who need to evacuate their homes are encouraged to shelter on St. Thomas. To register for shelters, individuals can contact the Department of Human Services between June 12th and June 16th at 340-715-6935. More information can be obtained online at www.fitema.vi.gov. NOAA predicts 12 to 17 named storms for the 2023 hurricane season, with 5 to 9 storms that may become hurricanes, Director Joshin said. And don't miss Administrator's Corner on 107.9 The Vibe on Wednesday, June 14th at 9 a.m. The next scheduled Government House press briefing is on Monday, June 12th at 1 p.m.
The Atlantic hurricane season begins June 1st and ends November 30th. Please take the time now to prepare and help protect yourself, your family, and the community.
If you haven't already done so, stock up on supplies such as non-perishable foods, bottled water, batteries, radio, flashlights, and more.
Don't forget about your elderly and special needs family members and your pets. Secure your home by trimming large bushes or branches, installing storm shutters on your windows, and securing outdoor furniture.
Talk to children about hurricanes and include them while packing their emergency go bags. These activities can help reduce anxiety in the event of a storm.
We may be a small community, but together we can ensure that our territory stands strong in the face of any threat. Register for Alert VI emergency notifications by visiting vitema.vi.gov. VITEMA reminds you to be prepared, stay informed, and be vigilant.